Welcome to this BVTV Sales Podcast, coming to you from the UK studios of BizVision. I'm your host, Malcolm Gallagher. This is episode 2 in a trilogy with my guest, Ari Galper. He is the world's #1 authority of trust-based selling and the author of Unlock the Sales Game. Hello, Ari.
Hi, Malcolm. How are you?
Well, it's a bit cold in the UK, but I suppose in Australia it's winter time, is it?
Actually, going to summer pretty soon, so it's starting to warm up now.
Oh, right. Okay. Well done.
Opposite.
I like Australian wine. I like the beaches. Oh, dear me.
Yes.
Never mind. Let's get on. Let's get started on episode 2 of your trilogy for BVTV Sales Today. You're world renowned for your keynote called How to Double Your Sales with Trust-Based Selling. So let's dive deeper into that with my bunch of questions. Can you really double your sales? How does the sales process work to achieve this? What's the flow, please?
The way it works is we have invented our own what we call trust-based languaging. Words and phrases used that collapse the sales process into one conversation. And I'll give you an example right now. In terms of languaging, I'll ask all your viewers to remove this word forever as if they never used it again. It's the phrase follow-up. Never use the word follow-up ever again, because that's a sales word. When you call somebody, say, I'm calling follow-up, they think, oh, here it comes again.
Yeah.
Instead, say this, say, I'm giving you a ring to see if you have any feedback on our previous conversation. Changing the subtle words like that increases trust and generates opportunity right away.
Yeah, I like that there. And, you're basically saying, have you really thought through what we talked about rather than them having to say, God, it's Malcolm on the phone again,
Correct.
Yeah.
See, we're so conditioned to move them forward. What I teach people to do is move them backwards, the opposite direction, away from the momentum, away from the pressure.
Right. Okay. I got you. Now, the question I asked, though, that says, is double your sales. I mean, that's a heck of an offer, isn't it? Yeah, a claim.
Well, the way that works is that I've seen from my clients is that they reduce their pipeline in half, but their conversion rate doubles. See, it's less leads, better conversion. That's how you double your sales, because what most people think is, I need more leads. But the truth is, the real problem is they can't convert those leads into sales. So if you build more trust in the conversion process, you get a jump in sales.
Yeah. I often feel that far too many salesmen sell, a mile wide and an inch deep, because they never get into a company. So what you're basically saying is that your approach gets into a business.
Right, because they're playing the numbers game, you see. The more contacts they make, the more sales they make. But we realize it's not about how many contacts they make anymore. It's about how deep you go on each conversation, not how many contacts you make anymore.
Yeah. And do you find that there's anybody or any type of person resists this approach?
Usually people who've been in sales for a long time, who believe they know how to sell, and there's nothing new under the sun. They're the ones who are more skeptical and least open to change. And the ones who are more successful, the ones who are humble enough to say to themselves, you know what, maybe it's time for me to upgrade my thinking here, because the world has changed. People have changed, and no longer do they want to be sold the way they've always been sold. So if you're open to that concept, then you'll do very well.
Yeah. Again, I really like that, because it's of the moment, isn't it? And you quite rightly say sales has changed, and virtual selling, of course, is so important these days. And I've got this feeling, and help me with this one, that nowadays, where we're doing most of our selling virtually and everything, that your approach will make it a lot easier for everybody, because you can't get face to face like you used to, but if you're just doing an information imparting, almost an information exchange, then you can do that more successfully on things like Zoom. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, you don't want to show up on Zoom and start selling to somebody, because they'll find it quite awkward.
Yeah.
It's almost like a doctor patient, and they're in your clinic. You have to diagnose their problem. You have to ask them about what their issues are. You have to amplify the issues and prescribe, versus just talk about what you have to offer. And it's so easy for us to jump in and discuss our solution because we're passionate about what we do. We love what we do so much, but we can't help but to let it out. But our goal is to hold back and let them talk first.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. You know, to make this really work within a business, though, and across all the sales team, it really has to start from the top, doesn't it? There's got to be buy-in by the sales director or the VP of sales, hasn't there?
Yes, because the VP of sales is usually used to managing their team based upon numbers. How many calls, how many meetings, how many demos, how many sales.
Yeah.
What they're not measuring is how good are they at trust building every step of the way.
Yeah.
That's the missing layer most head of sales don't understand well enough to actually activate and make a difference with.
Yeah. So you're saying that at the top, they really need to have new management indicators or KPIs involved, don't they? What would you suggest then to replace that volume of calls and percentage of conversion?
Well, what I say is the sale is lost or made inside the actual sales conversation, not in the CRM, not in the spreadsheet, not in the report. It's in the actual calls themselves. So what I have my clients do is record their phone calls. They play them for me, and I catch them talking too fast, offering a solution too quickly, jumping too quickly, not listening well enough, getting too excited too fast. So many mistakes happen unconsciously. It's amazing when I play the recording back to them, they realize, oh my gosh, I'm the problem, not the solution to the problem.
Yeah, excellent. Thanks, Ari. Now, let me remind our audience of your URL, your website address, which is all the W's. Well, viewers, you can see it on the screen behind me, but let me read it out for listeners. It's all the W's, unlock the game, unlockthegame.com. And if you want to be fancy, you can have a .au after as well. So unlockthegame.com.au. Go there and get details of all the ways that Ari can help you be successful in selling. Now, Ari's book is called Unlock the Sales Game, New Trust-Based Selling Strategies to Finally Create Your Sales Breakthrough. When I was young and told my father I wanted to go into selling, he was horrified, as salesman to him meant sleazy and dishonest and not a career. I mean, this is a good few years ago, of course. I'm glad I went ahead, as I think it's a noble profession. After all, nothing happens until something is sold, but selling with trust is what will set you apart. Thanks, Ari Galper.
Thank you, Malcolm.